Okay, this is lesson 5.3, and we are going to start with the language notes here on page 238. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to look at here on these language notes is time spent. All right, so time spent is basically, for example, in English, when we say I am allowed to play for an hour, or he will be gone for a week. So there was some verb, all right, here it is play, and then there's a period of time that that can happen for. In this case, it's 1 hour right here, or in this case, the verb is to be gone, and the time is for a week. All right, so let's take a look at the Chinese examples. It's very similar to English. It's not that different. So we can look here at this sentence, and we say 我可以玩1个小时. Right? I am allowed to play for an hour. The verb is 玩, and then the time that they're allotted to do that verb is 1个小时 or 1 hour. Right? We have another example here. 他们要去1个小时1个星期. Right? They will be gone for a week. So they're going somewhere, and they will be gone for a week. 一个星期. Okay? So this is one way that you can do that, and that is the right here, the subject and the verb, and then the time spent. All right. The second way to do it is subject, verb, and an object. All right. And so the verb is repeated. Okay. Because there's an object, you have to repeat the verb again before you use the time spent. So let's take a look at what that looks like. Right here, it says you can watch TV for a half hour, for half an hour. So here it's 你看电视可以看半个小时. Okay, so here we have the verb appearing the first time. Okay, 你看电视. Now, the verb 看 here has an object. The object is 电视 or TV. So typically, when you have an object, you have to repeat the verb again. So the verb is repeated here. Right? 你看电视可以看半个小时. Right? Here's another example. 我们做作业要做2个小时. Okay? Again, we have the verb, and then the verb is carrying an object with it. So we have 做 and 作业, or do homework. And so the verb is repeated here, and then here's the time. 2个小时 for 2 hours. Okay. We're going to turn the page here in just a second, and we're going to be taking a look at this third option, which is a subject, verb, and then time spent. All right, and then the object. All right, and in this case, you have the option of using a de. Okay, so let's take a look and see what that looks like. It's quite different. All right, here we are on page 239. Let's make that a little bigger there. Okay, so here we have I will watch TV for half an hour. 我, so we're looking at this one. 我看半个小时的电视. 我看半个小时的电视. Right? The is optional. Okay, so here we have the verb, and then the time spent, and then the object. Okay, so here's another one. 我们打一会儿篮球. Let's play basketball for a while. Okay, so we have the subject, verb, time, and then the object. Okay, so in this one, the original phrase would be 打篮球. Okay, so you have 打, and then over here you have 篮球. All right, So a very simple sentence would be 我们 here 打篮球. Okay, very simple sentence. And then we just add the time spent in between the verb and the object. So 我们打一会儿篮球. You could say 我们打5分钟的篮球. We're going to play basketball for 5 minutes. Or 我们打半个小时的篮球. We're going to play basketball for a half hour. Okay, continuing on, here is a summary of optative verbs. Okay, so optative verbs are verbs like want or need or should or can or have the ability to know how to must or to have to or to ought to have to, and then may or can. Right? So we have 想 and 要 and 应该能会必须得 and 可以. Okay? So let's take a quick look at some rules. Okay? So here, when asking yes/no questions with optative verbs, you can use one of the following forms. Right? We have 3 different ways that we can do that here, A, B, and C. And one, the first one here is the sentence and then a ma. Okay? So the sentence is 你, in this one, 你能去. Right? So just this first part here, 你能去, would be you can go. 你能去. And then you add the ma at the end because we're asking questions here. You just add a ma. 你能去吗? Alright. Another example is 你会弹钢琴. 钢琴. You can play the piano. Alright. 你会弹钢琴吗? Alright. You add the ma and it becomes a question. Alright. The other option is you have a subject. I'm looking at this one here. You have a subject, an optative verb, and a bu, and then the optative verb repeated, and then the rest of the sentence. So you're familiar with this kind of construction. So here we have 你能不能去? 你能不能去? So it's just like the first one here. 你能去吗? Can you go? And this is just using the verb with bu and then repeating it. 你能不能去? Alright? You'll notice that when you use this 能不能 option, there's no ma at the end. Okay? So you have to use either the ma or the 能不能. You cannot say 你能不能去吗? Alright? That is wrong. The next example we have is 你会不会弹钢琴? 你会不会弹钢琴? And we have the 会不会 right here. 你会不会弹钢琴? They put a space in here. They put the space in the wrong place. There should be a space here and no space here. All right. Here we have sentence. In this third option here, we have sentence and a bu and then the optative verb. So 你能去不能? 你能去不能? Okay. So 你能去 is the base sentence, just like up here in this one here, up in section A. Okay. 你能去. And then here you just add a bu and then the optative verb again. 你能去不能? Alright? Or 你会, this one here, 你会弹钢琴不会? Alright. This third option here is not as frequently used as the other options. Alright, this one here is not used often. Okay. Alright. Okay, here we are on page 240. In here, we are looking at the use of 多 and 少. And what we're looking at here is this structure with 多 or 少 and then a verbal phrase. means that you can either do more of here or do less of. So let's take a look. If you use the 多 together with a verb, then it means do more of that. If you use 少 together with a verb, it means do less of that. Okay, so for example, you should play fewer computer games. Okay, so the verb is play, and you should do less of it, fewer. So watch what happens here. 你应该少玩. Okay, so 玩 you know is play, and we just put this 少 before it, and you come up with 少玩, play less. Now the word order is swapped than within English. Okay, so 你应该少玩电脑游戏. And then, all right, so you should play less computer games. All right, that's fine. And what should you do more of? You should do more studying. 多学习. All right, you should play less computer games and study more. 你应该少玩电脑游戏，多学习. You should play fewer computer games and study more. All right, another example here. 他应该多运动，少吃汉堡. All right, so this individual should exercise more and eat fewer hamburgers. 多运动，少吃汉堡. All right, let's take a look at language note 4 here. Okay, so this is interesting. This is using le and geo together with a first verb here and then a second verb here. Okay, and it has the meaning of as soon as. Okay, so in English you can say something, for example, look at this example down here. You can say as soon as mom comes back home. All right, there's verb number 1. Dad will take me out to play. There's verb number 2. So as soon as comes back home, that's verb number 1. Will take, that's action number 2. So as soon as mom comes back home, dad will take me to play ball. Okay, so let's take a look at that in this sentence here. 妈妈回了家，爸爸就带我去打球. Okay, so we have 回 is verb number 1, and then we have the geo over here, and then 带 is verb number 2. Okay, so 妈妈回了家，爸爸就带我去打球. Right, as soon as mom comes back home, dad will take me out to play. Let's shoot back up at this first example up here. Okay. In this one, both activities are done by the same person. Okay. Verb 1 and verb 2. Down here in this example, mom was doing verb 1 and dad was doing verb number 2. Okay. Up in here, we have the same person doing both verbs. So we have 他回了家就做作业，他回了家就做作业. Okay, so verb 1 is 回, return home, with the le after it. And verb 2 is 做, with the geo right before it. Okay, 他回了家就做作业. Right, after he got home, or you could also translate this as saying he did his homework as soon as he got home, or as soon as he got home, he did his homework. Okay, here we have, in this example here, we have 我知道了就告诉你. Okay, so I know, and then a le, and then a geo, and then verb number 2, tell. So 我知道了就告诉你. As soon as I know it, I will tell you. 我知道了就告诉你. Okay. And then we have this example here that we already looked at, where the two activities are done by different people. Here's a second example. We have a teacher arriving, and then a we doing homework. Okay, so 老师来了，我们就做作业。老师来了，我们就做作业。Okay. And that is it.